Alright, welcome back, guys. I tried to pull up this news article where this list of demands was originally posted, but you need to like subscribe or sign up or some shit like that to the website, and I'm not doing that. So, this is a list of demands posted on Medium.com that the crazy left people who have taken over a portion of Seattle, the third precinct, and like I think it's like a 7 block area. These are the demands that they want to have met.
So, Free Capitol Hill has put up a piece over at Medium.com. They say, in credit to the people who freed Capitol Hill, this list of demands is neither brief nor simplistic. There is no simple request to end police brutality. We demand that the city council and the mayor, whoever that may be, implement these policy changes for the cultural and historic advancement of the city of Seattle and to ease the struggles of its people. This document is to represent the black voices who spoke in victory at the top of 12th and Pine after 9 days of peaceful protest while under constant nightly attack from the Seattle Police Department. Well, actually, it wasn't constant nightly attack from the Seattle Police Department.
And it wasn't peaceful.
Protesters were getting very violent with police. So, here are their demands.
The moment that they start a list of demands and they have lies in front of those demands, you know there's a problem.
They want abolition of the Seattle Police Department and the court system.
You guys are fucking crazy.
They deliberately say, we do not request reform. We demand abolition.
So, that means not only is there anyone to come and arrest you or take you into any type of custody for committing a crime, there is now going to be no court system to even put you in front of to say whether you have done a crime, and if that you have or you haven't, what type of sentence you're going to get.
We demand the defunding and abolition of the Seattle Police Department and the attached criminal justice apparatus. That means 100% of funding, including existing pensions for Seattle police. Also, we want to disallow the operations of ICE in the city of Seattle.
Okay, so let the criminals come in, let the immigrants come in.
We demand that the use of armed force be banned entirely.
No guns.
No guns, no batons, no riot shields, no chemical weapons. We demand an end to the school-to-prison pipeline and the abolition of youth jails. Get kids out of prison, get cops out of schools. We demand that the new youth prison being built in Seattle currently be repurposed.
So they now want to take away a place to house kids who are problem children, who are going around and robbing and stealing and shooting and jacking cars and all that kind of stuff. So any type of reform where you may have had where it's like, oh, well, the parents of this kid obviously aren't doing their job, and if he continues on this way, he is going to end up a career criminal. And now they have little programs initialized so they can, what is it, at-risk youth groups and things like that. You want to get rid of all that funding so they can, because you call it school to prison. Well, let's address the parenting.
Demand that not the city government nor the state government, but that the federal government launch a full-scale investigation into past and current cases of police brutality in Seattle and Washington, as well as the reopening of all closed cases reported to the Office of Police Accountability.
So now they want to go back, and anytime there's been police brutality, they want to have the federal government waste its time going through all of those cases that have already been judged on and are even closed.
We demand reparations for victims of police brutality in a form to be determined, so they're not...
So you don't even know what you want there. You're not getting any money from me. I will stop paying taxes if they start agreeing to this shit.
Actually going to explain what they mean by that. We demand that the city of Seattle make the names of officers involved in police brutality a matter of public record. We demand a retrial of...
With the way that you guys act, you don't have any self-control and you want us to paint targets on these officers' backs? Nope, especially if they've been found not guilty. Wrong, not gonna happen.
All people of color currently serving a prison sentence for violent crime by a jury of their peers in the community.
Wait, hang on, let's go back.
Explain what they mean by that. We demand that the city of Seattle make the names of officers involved in police brutality a matter of public record. We demand a retrial of all people of color currently serving a prison sentence for violent crime by a jury of their peers in the community.
Are you fucking crazy? They went before a jury of their peers. If you were going to suggest that because there was a white person on that jury and that person is not their peer, then you are essentially saying that there is an inherent difference between white and black people. Do you realize what that opens you up to? That opens you up to one race being better than the others. Guess which one that's going to be if you want to go down that road. Historically, we can sit and count on one hand or the other the accomplishments of race. And I'm going to tell you right now, blacks, you're not going to win. So I don't really think that you want to go and open this can of worms that by saying that there's a white person there, that they are not your peer.
So presumably this means that if you are a black person who committed a crime and now you're in jail, they want you retried, but only if you're black, and only by a black jury. We demand decriminalization of the acts of protest and amnesty for protesters generally, but specifically those involved in what has been termed the George Floyd Rebellion against the terrorist cell that previously occupied this area known as the Seattle Police Department. This includes the immediate release of all protesters currently being held in prison after the arrest made at 11th and Pine on Sunday night.
So anybody who decided to attack the police that you have out there, you want to just let them go so they can be on your side. And then you notice how they slid that in there where they suggested that the police were terrorists, even though they're using violence and aggression and oppression to get their political means, which is the exact definition of terrorism.
We demand that the City of Seattle and state government release any prisoner currently serving time for a marijuana-related offense. We demand that they release any prisoner
Let all the junkies go.
serving time just for resisting arrest.
So now if someone was guilty of resisting arrest, regardless of whether they had a bunch of other crimes, whether they were actually resisting arrest, we just want to let them go, no questions asked.
We demand that prisoners serving time be given full and unrestricted right to vote. We demand
Let the idiots, this is one of the worst ones, let the people who are so fucking stupid that they can't even run their own lives have a say-so in how the country runs. That makes a lot of sense. You can't even get your own shit together, which is probably why you're in jail or prison. And yet we want to give you the right to decide how. You can't make the proper decisions for your own life. Why would I give you the authority or the ability to have a say in how to run the lives of 350 million people when you can't handle one?
an end to prosecutorial immunity for police officers. We demand abolition of all imprisonment. All imprisonment, not just, so they start with youth imprisonment, and then they're like, you know what, as this goes on, I have a second thought. All imprisonment should end. No more prisons.
Fantastic. So now there is no such thing as a crime. If you have no police to enforce the law, if you have no court system to have laws and to enforce those laws, if you have no prison system to put people once they've broken the laws, then you're basically saying there are no rules. There are no consequences. You're not going to be judged by anything you do. It's free reign.
That the Seattle Police Department empty its lost and found and return property owned by denizens of the city.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is Seattle filled with fucking orcs and goblins? Why would you use the word denizens? You sound like we're in a fantasy game and people are going to start busting out swords and shields going in attacking you people. Denizens.
We demand that all the body cameras be turned on and all body camera footage be made available to the public. And they want free public housing.
So, I don't understand why you would make a comment about the body cameras if you just want to abolish all the police and then let us live everywhere for free.
They also would like degentrification of Seattle, starting with rent control. They want...
Which doesn't make any sense when you just said free housing for everybody.
Free college for everybody in the state of Washington. They want hospitals and care facilities in Seattle to employ black doctors and nurses specifically to help care for black patients.
So, apparently, you were going to get better medical care if someone is treating you based on your race. Because I guess biology is different from race to race, and only black doctors understand how to treat black patients.
Because I know that if I were having a heart attack, first thing I would think is, I need a Jewish doctor right now. So they want resegregation of hospitals, which is a fascinating demand. We demand the people of Seattle seek out and proudly support black-owned businesses. So we have to subsidize specifically black-owned businesses. And we demand that the city of Seattle and the state of Washington remove any and all monuments dedicated to historical figures of the Confederacy, etc., etc.
So let's erase history. Let's apparently support the black businesses that we decided to burn down when we were rioting, because we certainly cared a whole lot about them then. This list of demands is exactly what I expected from the left, from the people who think that they're taking over that portion of Seattle and it's going to stay like that. The country is getting worse and worse, and soon we're gonna hit a head. Sooner or later, something is going to happen, and it's going to be much, much worse than people are expecting. And you crazies don't realize that most of us aren't putting up with it. The vast, vast majority, because everybody's like, when you watch the media or you do social media or anything like that, you think you hear all this stuff and you see all these posts of people and their loud voices of how they hate it, but that's a very small percentage of the actual population of America, right? You're seeing at best the what you in the media and social media is like 5%, maybe 10, maybe 10% of people who want this, and you're just vocal. The other 90% are either against it or they're not saying what their opinion is. Keep fooling yourselves into thinking you're getting somewhere, but this list of demands isn't going to happen. And let's say that it does. Who's paying for it? Because I'm not paying taxes if this happens. I will stop paying all of my taxes if all of a sudden Seattle breaks away. Because Seattle right now is not part of the U.S. They have a sign up that says you are now leaving, you're now entering something or leaving the U.S. It's crazy. So let me know what you guys think. We'll see you in the next one.